Now, she's a woman of many, many talents, depressingly many, frankly. She's a pop star, a model, a presenter and a mum of two. And, of course, for the last 3 weeks, we've also seen Louise Redknapp whittling down thousands of hopefuls on So You Think You Can Dance.
How do you dream when a mother has no chance to say goodbye?
You need a new look. That mullet's not going to work.
But, Cisco, she might not like how you look today. It's personal opinion.
Exactly, and it was my mouth that spoke, so why are you arguing?
you're meant to be
Because I am this
judging the way she
choreographer.
does
And I
it.
am, and I'm telling you that the look is a distraction, so that's why I said it. Like you said, my eyes, my mouth.
Ooh, Cisco. Tomorrow night, with the remaining 20 finalists face the first live show of the series. As you can see, Louise Redknapp's with me now. You and Cisco are good mates, aren't you? Because didn't he used to be one of your backing dancers back in the day?
Years ago, yeah, he did. So we get on really well, and he's great. I completely, obviously, do respect him, but we just have quite different opinions, you know, he's very harsh, and I suppose I'm a bit softer.
Look at you looking all pop star and glam there as well. I mean, it must be very exciting because when you see these youngsters come through and then get to the final show, you, of course, know yourself how they feel because you were so young, weren't you, when you were discovered?
Yeah. Do you know, I think when you're young, I think you're in a moment and you're living the moment. It's only as you start working and enjoying it and earning a living, you realise that you need to make a career out of this. One day this might get taken away from you. You need to keep on working because where do you go once you've tasted a little bit of fame, a little bit of this kind of opportunity? Where do you go from there? And I think that's what's hard for young people now. It's maintaining a career over a period of years.
Well, we saw Joe McElderry. It looks like he's about to be dropped by Simon Cowell's record label. And there's a youngster that was 2 years ago absolutely riding high, having done X Factor. And then, as you say, what next?
It's so hard for him. I mean, he's talented, and I heard the gentleman say he'll most probably go into the West End and things like that, but it's tough. Say he didn't have those opportunities. It's really hard for him to go and get a normal, everyday job because people will always point their finger, wasn't that the guy? So you've got a lot of pressure on your shoulders at a young age.
You've had so many successful careers, damn you. You know, great pop star, great TV presenters on the weekend, great judge, great dancer, so many things. And, of course, in between all of that, you're a mum and a wife. I mean, you and Jamie, there's a lovely story about Robbie Williams. I don't know if it's true. Robbie Williams introduced you on a beach when you were 19 years old. That's so romantic, isn't it?
Yeah, he did introduce us. It was in Milan, and we were touring with Take That, and he said, "Oh, I want you to meet a friend of mine," and it was Jamie.
Oh.
Yes, so...
You were so young when you got married, and yet you've been together about 17 years now, haven't you?
Long time, yes. We've been married 13 years this year, so...
Touch wood. It must be funny because, you know, he's out of football now, but there's always stuff in papers today about anonymous footballers getting injunctions to protect their private life, and it's always going around. And what is it like when you're married to a footballer or an ex-footballer? Is it possible to be private? Do you get angry when you see things like that happening? How do you keep things going? Does it make you more sensitive as a wife?
Do you know, I think all what we read about is the way of the world. We just happen to read it about a certain group of people. It goes on all around the world. I try not to judge anybody's situation, and I don't know, I live my day by day. You just got to get on with it. I don't know, I just think that we talk about footballers in this way because we know of them, but I don't think they're any different species to any other human being in the world. It's just that we talk about when things go wrong with them, but it happens to everybody.
It's funny you should say that, because I wondered, you know, Jamie's obviously such a lovely boy and such a lovely character, but when you see people like Wayne Rooney ranting and swearing at the camera, everyone piles in and says he's a terrible role model, terrible, but you've sort of seen the other side of that sort of pressure.
I have, yeah, and I'm not condoning it by any stretch, but I also understand the passion that these guys feel when they play, and you know, they eat, sleep and breathe football, and it's a passion and an adrenaline. So it isn't right, but it comes, I think, from a deep, passionate place and not a bad place, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the other thing that Jamie, as well, we unwittingly, and you could say, well, in my personal view, the episode when Richard Keys spoke to him on camera and said, you know, made a sort of lewd comment about a former grandfather. When that happened, I thought he handled himself so brilliantly, but did it make you cross?
No. Do you know what? I don't get involved in my husband's work or job. Like, he doesn't get involved in mine. It's not something I would comment. I wouldn't put any more pressure. There's enough pressure in this industry. No, it's things are said. We all say things. I just don't get involved. I kind of tend to, when we go home, home's home. And what we do for a living, we discuss it with each other. If we have worries, if there's things we want to talk about, would I sit there and go in-depth into his day and what's going on? No. Home should be, you know, we've got 2 children that are young. There's not enough time in our day. It's just back to normal once you go through the front door.
Well, you'll probably need to just relax because you're so busy as well. And I don't know if anybody knows this. I didn't know this before. But you're now becoming an actress. You've done a film.
Well,
should we have a little look at you? You're playing Ray Winston's wife in a new movie. Can we have a little look at this? I don't know if you've seen this.
Look, love, what if something had happened to you? Where would that leave Ella and me? We need you here with us. I know things are tough at the moment, but we always get by, don't we?
Oh, I really love you. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
Come here. Leave it.
That'd be that Harry Fisher again.
Yeah, well, Harry Fisher can wait.
Well, you know, that's the first time, by the way, that's ever been
That's
seen.
That's the first time I've seen that. I've not seen anything.
Are you proud of yourself? That's great.
I don't know what to think. I'm wondering if Jamie's watching me kissing someone
else. Well,
else.
the director said that you were incredibly good, you were very professional, and you should think about acting as a career. So maybe that's the next step.
Do you know, it was an amazing experience, and I was so nervous, but to work with someone like Ray Winston, who... I mean, that was a scene later on, but our very first scene was a big kissing scene, and I could barely walk on set. My legs were shaking. And when I got there, he was like, you know what, Lou, it's going to be fine. I'm just going to grab you. I'm going to give you a kiss. He was just... couldn't have asked to work with someone better.
Well, look, we know you've got lots of talents. We've been asking for your secret talents in honour of Britain's Got Talent as well on Saturday night. Lee in West Yorkshire says, I love doing my Frank Spector impression. Nicolette Coleman says she can recite a poem whilst doing a headstand. Joanne Murray says she can do the entire dance routine to Anton Deck, Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
That's a talent.
And Rebecca says, my party piece is a backflip followed by a pose. That sounds good, isn't it? We know all your talents. I bet you haven't got any secret ones.
I obviously need to find party piece. I've not
You
got
do.
one. That's my
do
next job.
That is your next job. Find
what
that
I'm gonna
secret
do.
trick, you know, bend your healthy leg. Lovely to talk to you. Good luck.
Thank
And
you.
it's BBC One, isn't it?
Yes, BBC One at 7 o'clock this Saturday.
Okay, one more.
Feeling fantastic in nothing but Jergens Naturals.